Now, I don't think I have to convince you that context changes how we interpret things, but I'm going to give a study anyway. So, there's a study, so there was this experiment. A professor, he gave these little crackers to his students, and then they ate it. And they were fine. Then he told them, he revealed they're dog crackers. And they were like, ugh, ugh. And so that tells us associating a cracker with a dog, it changes how it tastes intrinsically, because when you think dog, you think a bunch of dog-related things, and so you associate those dog things, like dirty germs and mud and all that, with the food, and that changes how your tongue works. Right? I think there's a similar principle that works in all art. I mean, no, I don't think there is. And I think this applies to titles, for example. I've actually have a couple examples. There's this show I saw that just had a title in Japanese, so I had no idea what it was. So I just saw the preview, and it was so cool. It felt so pure to watch a show without any context, and you don't know anything. You just go in blind. You don't have a title that gives you an idea of what it's about. It's just nothing. So I thought that was interesting. An interesting concept. So I'm gonna watch it, and it was it was very good. I was like, wow, that's one of my favorite shows. But I think it was partially just because of the way that I didn't know the title. But yeah. And I've had a similar feeling about poems where the title affects how you go. It's not blind. And I know this might sound kind of weird and autistic-y, but I mean, I understand that it's useful for poems to have names, and like if you have a poem book, if it's just unnamed, how are you gonna find anything? And it's useful for talking about art with people. Thinking about it more, I've thought actually, for poems, the title can actually act as a way that it doesn't unpurify the experience. It is part of the poem. And so I guess my point here is the title is not a thing. It shouldn't be seen as a thing to refer as a piece of art. It should be part of the art because it's going to direct you. Maybe part of the issue is just that I kind of focus on the wrong thing. Knowing the name, it just makes it harder for me to focus on the show itself because I have the name in mind, and so I'm thinking this show is this name, and so I'm not fully immersed into the existence of the show. I'm watching experience. I'm watching Erased. I'm watching Naruto. I'm watching, I think that's where I'm getting at. I like the idea of having a experience of art without an outside context that exists outside of the art. So you can experience it just as you can experience an episode of a show as a 20 minutes just existence for 20 minutes, as opposed to watching an episode. This is gonna also sound a bit weird, but I don't know, maybe it's normal, but I don't like knowing where I am when I'm watching a show or a movie, because then it's distracting, and you know specifically where you are, and it's, oh, I watched a third of this, as opposed to experience I've had, and blah. I don't know, it just feels weird. I don't know how to put it into words. You know, maybe once I talk about the other ways that context can affect the art, it'll help you understand why I feel this way about titles. And so I'm going to go on to a somewhat separate topic. My second topic is about music, albums. And so I have a few anecdotes. I heard a song, and I didn't know what album it was from. And so I experienced it as a song, as opposed to a song within the album. And so it was just 2-3 minutes of experience. And I was like, whoa, that feels completely different than the feeling that the album gives off when I listen to it. And then, whoa, it was part of the album. That made me realize that knowing a song is in a certain album affects how you think of it, because the songs around it, it gives you a thing of expectation. And when you expect something for it, it changes how you experience it. For example, if I have another anecdote. My neighbor gave me an apple, and I was like, oh, those guys, they have those like superb, they get those good apples from the market and all of that. And so I ate it, and I was, yeah, it's a good apple. Ooh, something feels different about this apple. And then when I told her that, she was like, I just got it at the store. I just got it at the supermarket. But thinking that there was something about it that was different, because I thought it was the fresh one, you know, that changes. It's called it's called placebo effect. Because you think something's gonna happen, and so your brain makes it happen. And the same thing, the placebo effect exists in art. If you like an artist, you're gonna be preset to, you're almost gonna hand yourself, you're entrusting yourself in the artist to give you something that is worth consuming. And I guess this isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing, because if you hand yourself over to someone who isn't trustworthy with your soul, with I'm going to trust your song that it's going to be something, and then it's bad, that makes you appreciate songs in a general sense less, because because all the songs you listen to, you associate that with the category song. And so if when you listen to a song and you don't know the quality, and you trust it and it's bad, you're not going to be able to trust as well anymore. And so it's going to be harder for you to put your heart into a song, to hand yourself, to trust an artist and really give them a shot, because you've been heartbroken before by different artists. And so it's a good thing. You need this. It is necessary to placebo. Because it protects you. It's useful. It is a useful tool. But I do think that if you have an album, it's easy to blend them together into one thing of this is what the album is. And so if you have bad songs in an album, that'll make you like the good songs in the albums less, and vice versa. Affects your trust levels. I guess this is actually, maybe that's what this is all about. I don't know if I have a conclusion there. I'm going to move on to the next topic. Okay, so